Good evening, YouTube. I've not let you down, have I? I'll be honest, when I finished the stream last night, I thought I'm not going to be back till Monday. But I've put the graft in today, and I've got us two guests together, two good guests as well. Not been on the show before, so there's no repeats here yet, but there might be in the future. But I've managed to put it together, and we've got a stream to go tonight. But first things first, I've got my priorities right because the beer fridge was looking empty. First of all, I've been clever enough to chill my glass. And of course, I've chilled the beers. I'm on the lager. I just fancied a change, and I like San Miguel. You know, they're not sponsoring me, but if a lager company does want to sponsor me for these streams, you know, I'm not a shill. I don't want your lot's money, but you know, if any, as long as you make decent beer, if you're a shit beer company, don't bother sponsoring me. I don't want your fucking sponsorship. But if you make a good beer, look at the shit point I've just poured, right? But if you're a good beer company and you want to sponsor my streams and or my channel, I'll happily do so because I will sell my soul for that. You know, I'll fucking put your products here, whatever, and I'll tell them I like your beer as long as it's not shit. So anyway, who we got in the house? We've got Gaming World Gez. Gez, how's it going? You woke up from your nap this afternoon. Rob going Aldino. Mike, without further ado, Planet Retro. Jay, Cybersnake 7. The Gaming Viking, Pompey Games Room. And let's just scroll up a bit more. Bill in the UK. TGITC. I would love to know what that stands for. So if you want to write in the comments, tell me that. And I think that's everyone. So, to quote my friend, your friend, Big Mike Houlihan, without further ado, let's introduce my first guest. You've got to say hello.
Hello.
All right, introduce yourself to everyone. We've got a few people watching.
Well, it's Adam, as known as amigaoldskool. And yeah,
collect Spectrum? Did you collect Commodores, or is it Amiga?
Well, a bit of everything. I try and collect when I can, if that makes sense. More computers. The collecting the tapes, as probably everyone knows, is that I'm pretty much collecting the tapes I had when I was younger back again. So I'm getting there. I haven't done a video on it yet, but I need, it's just a few that I need, and I've pretty much got them back. But back in the day, we was copying games and everything. I still got the original tapes that I had when I was copying games, but obviously now I want the originals, the same ones that I had and the ones that I didn't want. Really.
Quick question: as someone who sells cassettes, right? I don't always have the systems to test them. When you're buying the cassettes, I'm hoping, are you assuming they work? Because I know some tapes are very temperamental, or is it just, you know, the physical actual thing you want, or do you want it working? That's just purely from my own personal point of view, because I sell them as seen, because it might load on my system but not on someone else's is the other argument as well.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, with cassette tapes, it varies on different cassette units. If you've got a Spectrum Plus 2 with the cassette tape built in, then not all of them work. But I could just count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got seven cassette units. So whether or not it works on one tape unit, it might work on another one. But if they're original, then they should work. But tapes generally last longer, I feel, than floppy disks. That's my own preference.
I think, especially the Plus 3 cassettes, I think Big Mike Houlihan, who's in the comments, I don't know if you know Mike, without further ado, Retro, he would probably say the same, because I know he does a lot of repairs on the Plus 3.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a Plus 3, and I've got one tape for it, which is Ace. But, what was it? But yeah, that seems to work fine, and Outrun on it as well. But pretty much, be honest with you, it just varies. I mean, if you've got a tape, you can sort of get the tape image and revert it back and copy over the original. That's what I tend to do. It depends if the tape gets chewed up or not. That's the thing. I mean, just for instance, this one here, Full Throttle, this is the original tape that I had when I was younger, and it's got Bomb Jack on the other side of it. But, you know, that plays fine. That does. But to answer your question, I mean, yeah, if I'm buying a tape, I mean, the Spectrum's there, so I need it, you know, I need it to work. But if it goes tested, if it's £1 or £2 or $2.50, I won't go back to eBay and say, look, you know, this doesn't work, refund me. I'll just say, you know, I'll keep the cover and everything and look for another one.
Yeah, no, that was just purely for my own. And before we babble on too much, I have got a second guest. He's become a YouTube sensation. I'm hoping he's going to introduce himself the way I think he's going to, and I hope that he can hear me. He's going to do it. So I'm going to bring on my second guest. Say hello.
I'm James. I'm GameZone Birdroom.
I was so happy you did it like that. If you've not seen James's intro, Adam, that is James's intro that he does. So yeah, James just
tried to be a singer, but failed at it. So started YouTube.
What were you in an Elvis cover band?
Yeah, but it didn't take off. So I gave up.
Brilliant. So just introduce yourself a little bit more for everyone who may not have met you, but I hope everyone has, because I'd like to class myself as an avid promoter of your channel.
Oh yeah, well, thank you so much for all the promoting you've done for it, mate. Do appreciate it.
Brilliant.
Anyway, I'm James, and I'm from the GameZone Birdroom. I've got a small sort of retro collection that I'm starting to grow again. Pretty much it, really. I'm a key worker. I'm a chef in a care home.
I didn't even know that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute, because we do talk about lockdown stuff. So don't spoil the story too much.
Yeah, that is pretty much it, really.
You're not just into gaming, though. You were just saying to me before the chat that
I'm a proper nerd when it comes to like comics, Marvel movies. I love my Bruce Lee. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. Used to be pretty good at nunchucks as well, but started to put on the old weight, and that's it.
I think we're all getting a little bit of spread at the moment. Bill in the UK, first of all, he told me what the TGITC stand for, and it's that guy in the corner, which is pretty cool. I'd have just called my channel that. He said he watched your Lovebird video earlier, so you've obviously got a few fans in the room, that's for sure.
Yay, lovely jubbly.
Brilliant. So what we'll do is the format that I've gone with, and it seems to have worked so far, so I won't change it. When I ask a question, first of all, we'll go to Adam, because he's on my left. I'm assuming he's on people's left as well on the computer when they're looking at it. I'm looking at it now, and he's on the right. But anyway, he's my left. So Adam will answer first, and then obviously the same question will then go down to you, James. Just prevents anyone talking over each other, and obviously as much as possible. Obviously, if you hear something that you can funnily laugh at and or put a sarcastic comment in, please insert there whenever. So the first question we like to talk about is, because it's live from lockdown, is how has lockdown been treating you? So Adam first, anything changed? How have things been going?
Well, a lot has changed. I'm working from home, so hopefully like a lot of people. But the trouble is I'm working from 9 to 5:30. So I'm at work. I can do sort of things like in lunchtime, but I'm constantly working sort of thing. So, but other than that, I'm not commuting to work, so I'm not driving the car to work and back. I'm here with like my wife and the little boy as well. So, it's good that I can see the family. I wake up in the morning, I'm there having breakfast and everything instead of them going out. But regarding work-wise, yeah, it is difficult because we're doing homeschooling as well. So we're trying to homeschool Luke, but regarding shopping and stuff like that, it's the queues, isn't it? It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes for a local Sainsbury's down the road from us. And I can't get dishwasher rinse for some reason. Dishwasher rinse I cannot get for some reason.
You know what? I'm going to talk about that now. I'll just butt in a sec. I've just been to my local One Stop today. Mrs. did in the major shop, but she didn't get me no beer, so I went to get some beer, and I had to get the old man a loaf of bread. So I went down there. And you know what they've started doing? I don't know if people are stealing the dishwasher liquid, right? But they've got empty tubs of it on the shelf saying, if you want washing detergent, is that what it's called? Yeah. With the full bottles are behind the shelf. So okay. Is that the new thing? Has everyone finished wiping their arse and they've run out of that and they've wiped their arse on the t-shirts and they've got to get them clean or something? Is that what's going down?
I don't know about that one, but as I said, I've been over there for pretty much 3 weeks, and it's just sold out. We've got the red light on, but other than that, I mean, it's good because I sort of prefer it because I won't go on about the car, but my car's old and it's fits fall off it. They do. So for me not to drive to work and back is a lot easier than just leaving it at home and getting up in the morning. And also, instead of getting up at 8:20, I can get up at 5 to 9. And just leg it downstairs, turn the computer on.
I tell you what, because you mentioned the car then, we'll test one. You wondered if people were interested in cars. Just tell everyone what car you've got.
Well, I've got a Fiesta, an XR2i.
Right.
I've owned it since 2003, and it's the only car that I've got. So it is unreliable most of the time, but when it does work, it's wicked. It is, and it beats most of the GA3s or whatever. Keeps up with them. But yeah, it's really nice little car. No power steering, no airbag. It's like a little rally car. Gets flames out of the exhaust, and yeah, it's just brilliant. Really.
I told you you'd perk up Gus Newton and Addy Smith. Is that from your boy racing days? Is it the motor or?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted a Volvo, a 240 GL, because my dad had one, and then I met the wife, Elaine, and she wanted an an Escort RS Turbo, and then she sort of dragged me in, and then she got done up like 1.4 Fiesta, and then I got my 1.1 Fiesta, and that got written off, not by me, Land Rover written aside of us, and then with the insurance money, I managed to get the 1.6 injection XR2i, and as I said, it's just a rust around the sides and everything, but powerful little car. It's a 6.9 0 to 60. It is. Whether that means anything to anyone, but
not to me. But certainly
not as powerful as mine.
Is your watch, James? Sorry,
I've got a powerful 100cc scooter.
Yeah,
take that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I suppose, but that's a scooter, though, isn't it? That is.
Oh, it's powerful. I can get up to 45 miles per hour on that.
My car journey, I did once have a BMW 1 Series, which I loved, but fuck me, it started giving me sciatic pains down my leg because of the seating position and all my football injuries. And it started giving, if I drove it for longer than an hour, I used to have to get out and have a walk around. So now I've got a much more sensible Nissan Qashqai, which also helps me with the events and the car boots because I can fill it up. But yeah, cars, I'd like a nice car, but I wouldn't look after it. On plaster, I'd chuck a fucking bag of plaster in the back of it when I every car I've had, I've said I'm not going to put plaster in. I end up have. Hello, I'm doing my live stream. What do you want?
Oh, you're doing it today. Sorry.
See you later. Try. Get off. You know.
But
yeah, go back. Twice today. I'll tell the fucking story now because she's coming in to interrupted that. Me and Big Game Al today, we're playing Fortnite. I've got 6 kills. Alan's got fucking none, as usual. I've got full health. Mrs. comes back from shopping, opens that door there, gives me this fucking Swiss roll that she's bought me, right? So I'm looking at this Swiss roll. Next thing I know, I'm fucking dead. And Al's nowhere to be seen to help me. So that's twice today. She's come in and, what's it called? Sport whatever I'm doing. Although I am in here all the while, so I shouldn't really moan. But over to James then. Tell us your story about lockdown, because obviously you're a key worker.
Yeah, nothing's really changed for me because I'm a chef in a care home. So I had that bout of not being at work due to illness, kidney stones and chest infection and everything else. But yeah, on the mend now, I'm back at work. So yeah, nothing's really changed. Yeah,
you had the old kidney stones, which I can testify the pain for that is fucking unreal. I had
yeah, it's not nice.
I had 9 or 10 of them just as I turned 30, I think. In fact, I was in hospital with them, and that's when they found out I was diabetic because they test you for everything once you go into a fucking hospital. And I was in agony, like I was on morphine, and it didn't even touch it. So when I found out you got that, big pain. There's a comment here about your T-shirt. Everyone seems to want one, James. You know, the old games. I know. What I want to know is, did you have to send off to Giacomo for a T-shirt so you could get 2 to UK one? Because I know they do the triple XL ones at Giacomo.
No, well, mine's a XL anyway, so it's fine. Actually, I think Tootie actually fits his better than me.
What do you mean he fills it out more, is what you're saying?
No, I won't say that. He might hit me.
Don't fear Tootie. I'm telling you, he's a lot softer than what he looks. What I would say is my T-shirts, it's deceptive how big I look on camera. This is a medium, to be honest.
You used to get into a medium, not now. Too fat. I like my own food too much. See.
Last time I was in a medium is when I was dating Psychic Sally. That's the only time I've been in a medium. So you're still working. You're a chef. What sort of chef are you? You know, do you do proper cooking or is it deep fat fry?
Yeah,
stuff?
it's all homemade food we do. So like it's all like cottage pies, beef and owl pie, curries, lasagnas, that sort of stuff. Though bless them, they're not really eating much at the moment.
I tell you what, I wish you hadn't have asked. I've not eaten yet. I'm just drinking beer, so now you're making me feel hungry as well. So you're still working, other than the time off that you've had. So you're cracking on with the old COVID.
Yeah. Just cracking on with it. Every day's the same day for me, really. I just finished my week, so
great to see you. Another big promoter of your channel is Steve Addy Sneaker Freak.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
We refer to you now when we're discussing or talking about you. He's GZBR. We've abbreviated your name to GameZone Birdroom as just initials.
Oh, I have to remember that.
While we're talking though, because my little mate, my friend Gruss Newton, I say little, he's short. But me and him have crashed through Streets of Rage 4 today and completed it. The both of us, we played a little bit of co-op. Both of us have got Xboxes that we don't play. So we've got the Gamer Pass. And because neither of us have a headset that work on the Xbox, I rung Russ on WhatsApp so we could talk to each other while we were playing Streets of Rage. But we've enjoyed that today. And Russ isn't as good as me, so I'm always happy to play with him because he makes me look a much better player.
That's always handy. That's why I like playing my brother.
I think growing up, that's why my brother liked playing games with me, because he was older. And then when I got better and it got competitive, he's kind of drifted away now, sort of thing. But we'll move on. We'll talk our gaming journey. So we'll go over to Adam first. So just tell us what got you into consoles. What were your first systems? And literally everything up until you started collecting. We'll keep this collecting as a separate question, sort of thing. So just your journey, really, and what systems you had growing up.
All right. I'll take you back to before I was born. My mum and dad had a Atari 2600. So before I was born, my mum was playing Space Invaders, etc., etc. And as I grew up, I sort of was grabbing the Atari stick off, like being 1-2 years old and everything. And then probably about 4 or 5, I got the 48K rubber Spectrum. And then from that, I moved on to the Plus, and then the 48K Plus, and then but using the Spectrum and everything, I was loading the games and everything, and my mum was like doing the copying because my cousin Gary, he had a Spectrum, and we was just swapping games and everything from a young age, and it was like a 5-minute walk from my mum and dad's, so it was quite good. It was. Then my mate Dave got one when we was in primary school. And it was just swapping games. And my mum used to buy certain games. We used to swap and everything. Then having the Spectrum, I moved to the Master System. And then with the Master System, that was brilliant. It's the same thing. I was in senior school and 87, 86.
Hang on.
I think it was 87.
Sorry there, because my missus decided she was going to comment. How did you say Master System then?
Yeah.
How did you say it?
I said Master System.
Fucking not a Master System. It's a Master System.
It's a Master System.
Right.
What do you call it?
Master System. There's no second R. There's only one R in it, and that's at the end. If you think Adam is saying Master System wrong, put a 1 in the comments. Carry on, Adam. I'll let you talk again.
All right. So I've got the Master System, and then it was swapping games and everything still at school, and then I sold the Spectrum to get a Game Gear because I wanted the Master System in a handheld, so I can go around my nan and granddad's house. I had the converter and everything, and then I took it to school. I don't know if you remember, but you used to take it like you could on the last day you could bring a toy in, sort of thing. I know it's senior school, but I used to bring my Game Gear in, and I used to sit there when we had no lessons and just sit there and play Game Gear all the time. But funny story was, my mate Jonathan, he had a Game Boy, but my batteries lasted up until break time, and then on the second break, I was back in the classroom with the power supply connected to the wall, and he was still outside. It was summer, like summer term and everything, and he was outside with his Game Boy playing and everything, and I was stuck in there. Anyway, it's just Game Gear's eat batteries sort of thing. And then I moved off from the Game Gear, still got everything other than the Spectrum, and then yeah, moved up to the Amiga 600. And then from the Amiga 600, again, swapping the games, copying games, boot sales and everything like that. And then from the 600 to the 1200, within a year, I think 92, I got the 600, 94, I got the 1200. And then, yeah, brilliant with that. I don't know how much far you want me going into depth with them and everything. Or...
No, going as far in depth if you want. And then obviously we might do a little bit talking about which ones are your favourite systems and favourite games a little bit later. So did it stop with the Amiga? Did you not go to PlayStation or any of the systems after that?
Yeah, I didn't sell. I didn't sell the 1200, and I kept it right up where it's still here. But I kept using it until 2003 when I actually got a PC. But yeah, 99 I think it was. I jumped to the PlayStation, so I was playing Sensi and all the PlayStation games and everything. Then jumped on the PC around 2003, I think it was, and then then the PS2. And then moved over to the 360, and then 360 to the PS3, and then PS3 to the PlayStation 4.
Nice.
And that's really it, really. And the Spectrum next as well. So, but I mean, with handhelds as well, but that's collecting sort of now than what it was then, if you know what I mean. So that's sort of my consoles and computers and where I was. Sort of things. I was playing way back. I mean, my avatar on my YouTube thing, if anyone's seen it, that's me at 6 years old playing on the Spectrum, that is, and it's just me on the computer. My mum and dad, my mum took a picture of me and I've just kept it. I thought it was quite nice to have that. It just means that, you know, it's sort of playing from sort of a young age sort of thing. But
that's one thing I want to do, because I know somewhere at my mum and dad's house, because I don't know how everyone else's mum and dad is, you have like massive folders full of photos from when you're growing up. Like everyone now has them on a USB stick. But I'd like, because I know there's tons of pictures of me sat playing my Amstrad and playing other games. So I'd love to somehow find like the collection and maybe make a little montage video of me growing up playing the games until obviously I stopped taking photos of myself playing video games. That would be something I'd definitely like to do. But fucking mum and dad have got that many photos. It would be like a mission itself just to go through them all. And I definitely want to do some of my christening ones and stuff like that, like everyone else.
I mean, it'll be great if you could. I mean, you know, my dad started some of them, and then I finished them off a couple of years ago. But yeah, you know, the pictures, what you've got, you know, when you look through them and everything, and you think, I remember that, and that brings back that memory straight back in your heads, and you think, yeah, and you think further back, it's all nostalgia, isn't it? It's exactly what this, you know, what we're all on at the moment. But
hang on. Fucking Stu 2 UK again. He always tries to be funny. Should have called Esther Day in a child line. Why the Amstrad is a great system, man. One of my personal favourites, the old CPC 464. We can't all be posh people and have had Spectrums, although we did, because my brother had one. My brother had a Spectrum and a Commodore 64, as I've said before, and I had the Amstrad. So you're up currently with PS4. I saw your little lad earlier. He came up, said hello. He's playing on the Switch. He was playing Fortnite. So do you get to play on the Switch, or is that solely his system?
Well, it was his. But the reason why I got him a Switch, because I want my telly back. He sits on that PlayStation pretty much all the time. But he won't. He plays the Switch when the wife wants to watch TV. That's when he comes off it. But when Elaine's watching TV, then I don't get to use it. I need another. I've got a TV up here, but this loft is. I mean, most people would know I've got no radiators, and it's either too hot or too cold. It's too cold in the winter and too hot in the summer. So this is the perfect time for me to play it. But yeah, with the PS4, I've neglected it a little bit. I know I have, because
Adam, the one thing you certainly don't need is more televisions, because you've done me a tour of that room. But you've got the same problem as Novabug, because he's up in the loft. As you say, in the winter it's too cold, in the summer it's too hot.
But
So,
yeah,
go on.
I mean, I didn't really mean to come up here, but what was I saying about Fortnite and everything? Yeah, as I said, Luke plays it more than me. I feel that is, for me, it was like Modern Warfare 2, and that's when the first person shooters just sort of stopped for me. Could be, I mean, it's sort of weird because I really enjoyed Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I was on it non-stop. And what I was chatting about you earlier about the ban wave, I don't know if anyone remembers that. There's about 1 million people got banned from playing chipped 360 games at the time, and I managed to escape it by chipping the flashing the 360 drive and playing Modern Warfare. Don't know if anyone remembers ABGX 360 when it's a green screen and you used to like patch all your games and everything and get the I think it was DMI. You used to get the files and everything and then copy the games to make sure they're patched. But yeah, but the thing is, I mean, as a collector, I'm sort of collecting the games I used to have, but because I've been sort of, as I said, collecting the Spectrum, I've sort of been a pirate ever since ever since the Spectrum. So buying games is good for the stuff that I enjoy, but it's sort of, I guess, buying it really. I mean, I tend to try and pick, get games that I want back. But if I can find a way to copy a game, then I'll try and find a way, like twinkling the systems, like modding them sort of thing, and trying to get a way around it to get a game working. Obviously not with PS4 and Xbox One, but PS3, Xbox original. And like back in 2006, we was modding the original Xboxes and putting hard drives in there and using it for watching films. That's where sorry.
Have you not got like an SD card reader or anything for your Spectrum?
Yeah. I've got one just up here. It's it's got a card reader in it and everything, and you just plug it in. One. But it probably does the same sort of thing. But the thing is, you don't.
Spectrum Renew is the site that sells them. I don't know if you know of them. ZX Renew.
I may do. I mean, I've got this off. I think his name was Keith. It was back. Where was it? Play Manchester a good few years ago it was, and it's an NFC card. We're putting the +3 as well, so it's like a menu system, and you scroll down and you got all the games all on the CF card. But the trouble is with that is that you don't get the loading screens. I mean, I could boot a game up, in 3 seconds. It's not emulation, obviously, because you're using real hardware. Some people would differ, I guess. It's not a hardware sort, emulation sort of thing.
I don't class it as hardware, is because as emulation, because they're the actual files just shrunk massively down, being played through the actual. Because if you wanted to have that actual library that's on one of those SD cards, you need a mass amount of space. And I know you lose the loading screen, but you gain not having the fucking error code when you leave the room once you've started that tape as well.
I guess so, but at this time now, I mean, you can get the original file from like World of Spectrum, or you can find files. You can, and all you got to do is get a laptop or a PC, connect the mic into the mic in or the mic out. Can't remember what it is now. Connect it to a tape deck. As long as you've got a mono, you can use the Spectrum lead. And as I said, you can record them tapes back to. You can call that WAV file back to cassette tapes. You can, so you can, even if you don't buy the game, as I said, I've got full throttle there, and it still loads. But if you get like blank C90s or whatever, you can still copy loads of games straight to cassette tape, and you still get that loading screen. I mean, some people don't like it, and some people do. But years ago, when you was on the Spectrum, you used to hate. I used to hate it. You used to get the loading screen, and because I had the 48K. You couldn't turn the volume down.
Sorry,
the other machines. On the pluses, like the Spectrum +2 and everything, you could turn the volume down on your telly. But on the 48K, it was directed out from the bleeper on the Spectrum, which you couldn't turn down. So years ago, my dad said, right, you can load 2 games up because the Spectrum was behind him, like on his armchair sort of thing. So, and then I could load up like 2 games after 7 o'clock or something because the noise just does his head in. But yeah, with the SD cards and everything, it's a good idea. I mean, with the Commodore 64, I've got the Ultimate 2, which loads games in tape format. So it does load the games up. You've got that SDIX. It looks like a tape drive, which is behind us, and you can put you can get it on eBay for about 50 quid, and it's just USB that plugs into it, and or it goes in the tape socket. I can't remember where it goes, but again, you can just copy it. But the games just load straight up. But for me, I just love that sound, that boo, 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 that, you know, it's just the beginning of it. And obviously you get the tape errors, but that's challenging, that is. Okay, some people might not enjoy it, but I still enjoy it. You know, when you got a tape error, you know, I have to put the tape back in, rewind it, and it just takes you right back. But the good thing is today is that I've got the Amiga sitting next to us and a Spectrum next to that on the other screen, and I can just play Amiga tunes while I'm loading up Spectrum games. So it's a lot different today because you can do more things because you got more things. Years ago, you used to sit there, read a magazine like, you know, Crash magazine or Your Sinclair, and you wait for your game to load, and if you get tape errors, like, oh, I can't be bothered with that one, put another one on, sort of thing. But today you can sort of justify it. But for me, I want that to work, so I will go out my way to try and get that game to work in the end. I will, and if it doesn't, I'll just try again.
Fair play. I like watching Novabug's streams where he tries to load the Amstrads. In fact, he's live on a Saturday after this stream. So if anyone wants to watch something and reminisce some loading screens, check out Novabug after this. So we'll move over to James because he's been waiting patiently. Give us a wave to make sure you're still awake, James. Hey, thank you, mate. So if we could have your story of growing up with games, how they first came into your life, up until you started collecting, sort of thing. So just tell us your story, mate, 'cause everyone's here and eager to learn about the GameZone Birdroom.
Well, I'll start from the beginning. 4.6 billion years ago.
It's best place to start, always the beginning.
4.6 billion years ago. The moon crashed. No, I won't start there. That's a bit too.
That's when Tootie UK started his channel when that happened.
So yeah, started basically. I got me dad's handy down as a birthday present, the ZX Spectrum 128.2 Plus, and I thought it was amazing, high tech stuff that was, and yeah, I went to school must have been a few years later, about 1990, and all the kids in the playground were asking what consoles they had, and I thought, here we go. Yeah, I've got a ZX Spectrum 128, and they said, what, that old thing? And I said, what the fuck you got then? They said, oh, we've got Mega Drives or the original Nintendo entertainment system. And I thought, what the fuck are they talking about? And I went home, told my dad, said, look, all these kids have got this stuff, and bless him, Christmas time, 90, yeah, I opened up me Sega Mega Drive. Best Christmas ever. Didn't even want to come down for me roast dinner. But yeah, it was a brilliant Christmas, that was. I think it was 1990. When did Sonic 1 come out?
91, wasn't it?
Gruss Newton's probably already answering in the comments, so I don't know.
It might have been 91 actually.
91, I'm guessing.
It's 91. I got that. Yeah, so I got the handy down Spectrum in 1990, I think, for my birthday. Yeah, then I went. I pretty much stayed as a Sega fanboy basically. So I got the Saturn next, then the Dreamcast. My sister, who had a pretty decent job at the time, for Christmas the year after got me a PS2, which was brilliant. And yeah, then I stayed with the PlayStation for a bit until there was one game for the 360 I really wanted, and that was Dead Rising. I was a massive zombie fan, and seeing that on the trailers and you know, all them zombies on screen, I had to get it. So yeah, I went to the 360 and then the Xbox One, and then for Christmas, I think 2014, I got a PS4, but I don't really play them much anymore, the One and the PS4s, because my thumb's a bit fucked. So,
Gamer thumb. Are you suffering with gamer thumb, are you?
but basically, I had surgery on it in November. It's obviously also where I've been a chef for 20 years as well. So my hand's a bit knackered.
Stu 2 UK also suffers with pains in his hands and wrists. I don't know what that's all about. We'll have to ask him if I get him on the stream again.
I don't want to ask him actually what they.
If you've ever met Stu, everything about him's knackered. Dead Rising. I actually watched a Dead Rising film last night on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's Amazon Prime. Fuck me.
Was that Watchtower, was it? Or something like that it's called, isn't it?
I don't know which one it was. It was really fucking slow, though, and not as exciting as I was kind of hoping it to be. But I have got a delight to watch tonight on Amazon Prime when I've finished this stream. It's called Zombiesaurus.
That sounds pretty good.
It sounds that bad, it's going to be fucking brilliant for sure. So, what do you play currently on the PS4 or anything?
I haven't played it for probably a year. My missus got me last year. No, not last year. The year before, Spider-Man 2. It's still in its not Spider-Man 2. The new one.
Amazing Spider-Man, isn't it?
The Amazing Spider-Man, is it? Or is it just
yeah, that's
Spider-Man?
it. The Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, it's still in its wrapper. I just find it so hard now because obviously the newer games have got so many multiple buttons, haven't they?
Yeah.
And the amount of lag that my thumb has when pressing them, I'm shit. I'm absolutely shit.
There's another excuse for you, Big Game Al. You know, you've got thumb lag. Because Big Game Al is one of the worst gamers I've ever played games with.
I know, I've been watching his Gran Turismos. I think they're brilliant.
Fucking, not Gran Turismo, it's Maureen's driving school. If you ever remember that on the telly, fucking Maureen at driving school.
No, I don't.
A question for the chat, but I don't know if the chat's ready, but we'll certainly answer it. Question to the chat. When is the cutoff with regard to game/generation as retro? So it's a controversial topic. I don't imagine all three of us will have the same answer, and I don't imagine that we'll solve any answers. But Adam, first, when do you think systems classed as retro begins? I'll give my say last. So, you know, what system would you class as the newest retro, if you know what I mean? So the final generation of retro.
Trying to think, because how far back? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I see things as retro, but I sort of never grew a part of it. For me, anyway, I didn't. I mean, I'm trying to answer the question. I mean, I guess PS2 and original Xbox. I mean, what are they? 20, 25 years? 20 years old at least.
Very close to 20, and I'll chuck my say in the cap. I think PS2. When I started collecting about 6-7 years ago, I wouldn't have classed PS2 as retro, but I would now. And I know what people will say, and I'm going to point him out. Rob Gernaldinho, who's in the comments, right, will say, how can you class PS2 as retro when FIFA 14 came out on it? Because you don't class by the individual system, you class by that generation. Now, every other system of that generation has not had a game probably released for 10 years. So your PS2 is like your Dreamcast, it's your GameCube. You know, GameCube and Dreamcast haven't had games released in years. So therefore, by generational thing, that generation to me is retro. And that is definitely what I think. I don't know if you want to chime in, James. What's your opinion? Would you class the PS2 and that generation as retro?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would. Also, I reckon when the new systems come out later this year, you know, I would class 360 as to be retro as well. Because it won't be classed as last gen anymore. It'd be beyond that, wouldn't it?
So what you're saying is, see, that works out in theory, which some people are saying in the comments. Once something is, you know, it's not last gen, it's got another generation in between it. But where that blurred line comes now is Nintendo fucked it up with their stupid little hybrid Wii U. Because if you had that in theory, people would be saying Wii is retro. But I get what you're saying, you know. I probably wouldn't say 360 would be retro no sooner as the PS5 comes out. But somewhere halfway between that lifespan it certainly will be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because what a gaming generation usually lasts, 7 years? So by the time you come to the end of a generation, you're talking 14, 15 years. If something's 15 years old, that's someone's whole life at school. So certainly it will be classed as retro, is where I think. But as we're talking today...
Saying that, won't the Xbox 360 be 15 years old, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. It won't be far off. When did the 360 come out? Someone write in the comments. But
2005, was it?
I definitely think, as we speak today in 2020, amid COVID-19, the PS2 is retro, the GameCube's retro, and the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I'd definitely class them as retro.
Yeah. So that's who asked that question, actually? It was Junior D, 1975. So also that generation would also be the original Xbox, which I'd definitely class as retro as well, because that's not had a game.
Well, it's all part of the sixth generation, isn't it, of consoles?
Yeah, you're right as well, James. On the ball, November 2005, the Xbox 360 came out, so that's coming up to. So yeah, definitely halfway through the next generation's lifespan. It's going to be pretty close to 20 years old in it, so by then it will be classed as retro, I would have thought. And I almost think it's not really the people now like us who are talking about something being retro. It's the people who had those systems growing up who will class them as retro, because that will be all they know from their childhood, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because we all look back. Like, I imagine, when we were the age of 10 and stuff, when we were playing certain systems, we didn't class them as retro, but they certainly are now, if you know what I mean. It's almost how you evolve in your journey of what you class as retro would be what you'd have as a kid. So, there's going to be some people who, when the Xbox was released in... 2005, who were 10 years old, who today are going to be 25? They would look back at that Xbox and think that's old and that's retro, if that makes sense at all.
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
But there is the answer to that question anyway. And thank you for any questions in the comments. I will get to them and we will try and answer them. Let's just read now. What classed as retro is the jumping graphics tech, the jump and smooth polygons. I get what Novabug's saying there, and I kind of guess it's why we don't class, like some people don't class PS2 and that, because there's not as big a jump from the graphics from the PS2 to the PS3 to now, as opposed when we went from the NES to the Mega Drive to the PS1, there was massive, and even before that, when you look at the 8-bit home computers, there was huge leaps, whereas the leaps to the naked eye now are not as huge as anyway. But I don't want to stay on that debate for too long, so we'll move the question on. What if anyone asks about if anyone went to public school or private school? That will not be asked. It's not a question on this. It's just a private in-joke, and it will never be asked on this stream. So what I'd like to talk about now is we'll start with Adam, because I imagine his story is going to be longer than yours, James. YouTube a little bit longer. Tell us about YouTube and why you got involved, and who you used to watch, who inspired you, and what made you want to do, and just talk your YouTube journey a bit, like.
Okay, I'll go a bit before YouTube. I will. What I used to do, I don't take this away. I used to film myself. Not in that way, but when I passed my driving test and everything back in 2001, I pointed my camera at my face and I did a little diary sort of thing. So I had a camera and I was just playing around with it, filming mates and having a laugh, and I enjoyed doing it. And with moving forward a little bit, I was. Moving back again, I was recalled like Mega Drive, sorry, Master System. I said it right then.
Oh, and, good. You said it right, so therefore you admit that I'm right.
No. No, I said it right then because you contradicted me. So I managed to say it right again that I did the first time. Anyway, But yeah, I used to get an iFleet and record Amiga demos. My 600 blew up like Christmas time it did, where the mouse port on the right hand side went wrong. So I had no computer. But prior to that, I used to get the video, put the RF lead into the back of the RF socket and everything, and record Amiga demos. And this is me being 14. So moving forward again, because I will get to the question, it's just sort of why I started doing YouTube. So moving forward from that, because I already was talking to myself on camera, I was already recording like demos and music, and I completed Monkey Island and I filmed a whole lot. I haven't got the tape now, but because I recorded like stuff from music videos and a bit of Channel 5 back years ago. So what happened? Yeah, then moving forward, when YouTube was available, like back in 2006, 5 when it first started, I just typed in Amiga stuff. I just typed Amiga, and because the video tapes were gone, I was watching the Amiga demos. But this sort of contradicts in what I've just said. With the Amiga, I never grew out of it. I never sold it. It was always connected somewhere. But I don't know if that's another question later on. I guess that's where you was now, what you're doing now, I guess.
Yeah. We'll get onto your collection and what's in it and what stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. So anyway, so with YouTube, I ended up because the passion was already there. Still, it was. And as I said, with YouTube, I typed in Amiga, and I said to my dad, Dad, look, Facebook, people are still, putting Amiga stuff in. This is, 2008, 2009. And it was just fun scrolling through Facebook and watching YouTube and seeing people with Amigas and everything. So the first people that I watched is Steve Benway. It was Steve, Monkey Spaz. I remember his Hypersports. What was it when he was playing Hypersports on the Spectrum? And I still remember his video, and he had a what was it? What's that thing? That cycling machine in the background, and he had he had a door there. So, and they're the sort of people that I was watching. And I'm not saying that I could do that, because at the time I was on a server, and you log into this FP site, don't want to go into details and everything, but I could download like 360 games, PS2 games, films, music. It's about 30 gig of music a day.
I'm just going to chip in and say, you're one dodgy fucker, aren't you, Adam?
Well, pretty much so, yeah. but that's the thing. I mean, I had all this stuff I could deal with, and I said to you prior, I'm a pirate. I've always had stuff. If I can get it, I'll try and tinker with the hardware to try and use, like chipping your Xbox, chipping the PS2, chipping. I mean, I don't know if anyone's heard of a DMS switch for the PS2.
It's a hard dodgy fuckers. You and Gashead could have probably ruled the UK with. His history in piracy, your history in piracy. You could be a Blackbeard and no hair, or whatever you want to call yourselves. Sail the 7 seas together.
I probably met Gashead long ago, but I never knew who he was. He's kind of local to us. We went to the same like boot sales and everything probably years ago, so I probably did see him. But obviously,
he said you sorted him out some ROMs. He said you sorted him out some wrongs a very long time ago.
Some wrongs. Oh, some ROMs. Right. Yeah. That was good. That was. Yeah. He popped round, which was very nice. He wasn't going to stay long because he wanted MAME on his PC because he was doing the Tubers High Score challenges. So I managed to. But the thing is that on my machine I've got USB 2, not USB 3. I'm rubbing it on a bit. But it took him like an hour and a half to 2 hours to copy loads and loads of stuff. And I don't know where this could lead, but he had a Mac, he did. And I won't go into too much detail, but he found some stuff on my machine. And he copied like 200 something gig off my machine. And it took him like 3 hours because he was using USB. And he said, I could use the USB 3 instead of the 2. So I took him up here for about half an hour and everything. And we was looking at Star Wars stuff and things like that. And it was, as I said, if he's watching, it was fantastic having him round. It was but that was when the loft sort of was developing. But that's moving on to another question. Anyway, moving back to YouTube.
Anyway, carry on, guys. I'm just going to feed me cats.
No worries, mate. So you feed your cats, James. He's got cats
but
and
yeah,
birds. How the fuck does that work out?
I was
I
thinking
know
of
if I had cats,
yeah.
birds with my cats, the fucking girl would eat them. Anyway, carry on your YouTube journey or whatever.
So, yeah, so as I was saying, I still had the Amiga 1200, and I'm thinking I'm inspired by these people. Obviously, they got capture cards. I know Steve Benway hasn't, and that's what I did. And also Dave Lawnboy's post, 1975,
Yeah,
and with them two, they were just pointing the camera at the screen and just filming it, filming their game, giving their impressions. And I'm thinking, well, I've got nothing else to do. And I was away in Malta with the fam, with the in-laws and everything. I said to Elaine, I was on the beach, had a few tins, and I thought, I'm going to do YouTube when I get back. 2 months. I got back in August. I think October 2013 is when I first uploaded a video. We come back from Manchester, and I did like a pickups video and everything. It was good. It was, but they're the 3 people that inspired me, and because I'm using original hardware and I'm pointing the camera at the screen. But obviously you have trouble, I'm using real hardware. Other than name for the Tubers High Score Challenge, everything that I upload is a camera at the screen. And it's difficult trying to do it because obviously you get the flicker with the CRT and you've got to get the ratio right. And, I have to sound out the speakers. And we had Mouse in here about a year ago, and I ate one of the speakers and a couple of other bits. So I had to try and get rid of them. Nothing was damaged, then I had loft leaks and everything. So producing videos it's a sort of like I do it when I can sort of thing. But they're the 3 people, and then it just sort of carried on. Then we went to play Manchester back in 2011, it must have been. And I think I said to you, I bumped into Ninja Bear Rug Stu. And the funny thing is, he didn't. Obviously, I was just like, commenting on keyboards. I wasn't, uploading videos at that point. So it took another year, sort of thing. So yeah, Stu was another one, Ninja Bear Rug, with all these Master System full set, and he used to play, and he used to sit there and play his Master System Quest games and everything. And as I said, I was a watcher really then. I think that must have been of 2011. And all these people just inspired me. They did. And as I said, I'm just Googling Amiga stuff and Spectrum and just watching back, same as what I guess anyone does. And the confidence in me, if I was 15, 16, I couldn't do it. I was quite shallow. I was quite shy. And because of having a camera, I thought, I'm not bothered about sticking my face in front of the screen and everything. And as I said, because the stuff stopped and I wasn't getting any games or music or anything, I didn't have nothing to do. So I thought I'll try YouTube out, and I use it as a memory sort of thing. And, for Luke, when he grows up, he'll see like me talking about certain things. And a lot of it sort of hasn't stopped with the winter and everything. And, this lurgy that's going around, and, and systems not working sort of thing, and TV monitors not working, camcorders not working. It's difficult trying to upload. I'm probably making a weak excuse. I could but my machine blew up and I couldn't upload anything really. It was down for about 6 months trying to get all the parts and everything. But yeah, moving on to YouTube, I'm waffling a little bit here, but yeah, it just started because I still had the Amiga 1200 and all the floppies, never sold anything, and I thought, I'll give it a go, see if I can meet people. If I get comments, I get comments, and it just sort of. But I used to do like a demo Friday every Friday, and I used to put in a demo on and just blast up the music and have a bit of a party up here, and I was just point the camera at the screen and do a demo and then play a game on the Sunday, and then met the Tubers High Score Challenge, and then started doing Tubers High Score challenges, and it's sort of I still want to create content, but it's, as I said, it's just time in doing it really. I've been a bit of a bum over the last few, well, say since last year really, about September, so I've had issues and everything. But that's really what inspired me, just with people, and just it's the passion. To be honest with you, the passion never left. It didn't. There's a picture of my 1200 with Luke. He was 6 months old on the bed, and I've got a Sony CRT, and things got packed away. I was in a 1-bedroom house, And then obviously we got the cot in the bedroom and everything, so things got moved into a box, and I moved here to this house in 2012, and that's when I picked up and thought, you know, I could do it. A year later, boarded the loft and everything, and then, you know, set the 1200 up, and then I still had the original monitor behind me, and that's where it just sort of, that's the sort of journey, and it's built on this dream, you know, meeting people, going to play, you know, the play events, going to other events. I mean, I like to mention that, you know, we do our own events as well, you know, down in London, in Greenford. I don't know if that will come up later on in, like, moving forward.
Yeah, we'll definitely ask about that. What I'm going to do is, one, I'll let James tell us his little YouTube journey and what he's been doing. But before that, I want to ask the comments. If you want to see Adam bring back his Amiga disco on a Sunday evening or something that he's been doing, put a one in the comments, put the pressure on the guy, because the one thing that's coming out of this stream is people who have been lazy and not doing content are starting to do it now. So I know Steve Addy, Fritz, Sneaker Freak, and a few others are struggling for stuff to do. So if you want to put that back on a Sunday, I'm pretty sure everyone would enjoy a live stream, a little bit of Amiga music and hanging out for sure. So while you watch the comments, see if anyone puts a one. They usually do when I ask. We'll hand over to James. So tell us your YouTube journey, because no one here really knows. We don't know who inspired you, who you used to watch. You became an unknown entity out of nowhere. So just tell us, James.
Basically, I just wanted to catalogue my games, really. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get any views, likes, subscribes, or anything. And I was watching just a couple of general channels like RGT 85. Most of them were like American ones, because I put in a specific game in, and most of the big American channels came up. So I just watched them. I'm not that particularly good at using YouTube, because I've only been watching it for like probably the last 2 years. Mainly sort of a Netflix and Amazon man. So and I just wanted to get into it, really, especially when my hand started playing up, and I thought it's better to play the 3-button games like the Mega Drive, and I can't really play for long sessions anymore. So I thought if I just do like a 10-20 minute review, post it on YouTube and see what happens. Right. So that's basically it, really.
Okay, so obviously, just tell us how you, like, obviously, I'm not taking credit for anything, but you've started to get a little bit of traction when people watch your channels. How has that meant to you to be, like, you know, from kind of...
Oh, it's massive. To tell you, Dan, what you've done for me, mate, which I didn't even realise. You know, I didn't have a clue I was getting all this traction. I just thought, oh, yeah, people are starting to pay attention to me, you know. But, you know, thank you for finding my little channel, my weird little bird channel. You've done so much for me, mate, so I do really appreciate it. I'll give you a free T-shirt.
All I will say, mate, is I just point people in a direction. If they like what they see, and the person behind who the channel is, which, you know, first of all, your fucking entrance, your intro used to fucking make me laugh out loud. Brilliant. But, like,
what a beautiful velvet voice, isn't it?
Yeah. Since, like, obviously people have started reaching out, leaving comments, you've come across as a very nice and genuine guy. And what anyone here who knows what I'm like, I would rather watch 1 million GameZone Birdrooms than 1 hour or 1 minute of a highly produced false person in front of a camera. And that's 100% from the truth. I would rather see an honest, genuine person being themselves than someone being a fake and a fraud to the community. And that's thank you. That is you just being you. Quick question. Stu2 UK earlier asked, can James get a bird on the camera? Now, there is already one, but they can't spot it because your landscape. But you did get the budgie down. If you want to introduce them.
Well, this is Rex. This is my old faithful. This is Rex. Oh,
not that faithful.
No, not that faithful. I think it's because I've got these headphones on. Come, mate. Come. Up. That's it. Good boy. This is...
Never worked with kids and animals.
No, don't. It's a fucking nightmare. It is. Up, good boy.
So while we're talking about YouTube, James, what I've got to ask the question: what on earth possessed the name? I know obviously it is a GameZone Birdroom, but what on earth? It's not bizarre. It's very unique. Very unique, I should say. I don't think anyone else combines an aviary with a games room.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I made my game zone in the bird room. This was literally their room first of all, and it had a lot more stuff for them to play around with. But since I've sort of invaded their room, yeah, it's become more my little den. But yeah, so it was quite easy to make a name up. Really, I'm part of a group on Facebook called Bird Zone. So I used Game Zone and obviously the room with birds. So that's how it came. GameZone Birdroom. GameZone Birdroom. That's for Grass Newton, that is.
Big Game Al loves it as well. Big Game Al started a petition in the chat to get you to bring back your original intro.
I will. Every so often, I will bring it back.
Brilliant. So just quickly, while we're talking about the birds, because I don't want to turn it into a bird chat, but tell us what you got and their names then, because
so my badge
appearances. So does that mean you look after other people's birds, or
no? They're all mine. I've got Molly, my blue-fronted ambers. Well, she's more my missus bird. She fucking hates me. She does. If she could kill me, she would. She really would. She's taken chunks out of my skin. She has.
I'll tell you now quickly while I'm talking, right? Because I've said it on this channel, especially when I'm talking about yours. I've said before, when we were little, my dad used to breed birds. He used to breed finches. He stopped doing it because I don't know if you know, lovebirds are really difficult to breed. And he once got them to breed, and the two lovebirds killed all the young.
Yeah, not surprised. That can happen.
It broke my dad's heart, and that's why my dad stopped breeding birds. But we always used to have birds as a kid, budgies and that. But we had a cockatiel that I named Magic after Timmy Mallett's fucking cockatiel, and he used to sit on my ear and bite at my ear, and I've still got scars and bumps on my ear now from when we used to have that cockatiel. But my dad was massively into it. Like, we had a big outdoor, it used to be like a dog run, but it was an aviary, so he built the shed with all the breeding boxes and everything, and dad did
nice.
Dad did that for years. Again, once I'm going through my old photos, because I imagine he's got some pictures. I know he bred finches, he bred budgies, and I remember going in there as a kid with like the birds flying around, and we used to have rabbits and guinea pigs in the bottom of the run as well and stuff like that. So animals were a massive part for me growing up. But yeah, it was the breeding of the lovebirds my dad had tried for years, and he thought he finally got like a fair few of them, and the lovebirds killed them, and that's, it broke my dad's heart, and that's why he stopped breeding. But that's just a little bit about me, really. I always try and tell everyone a little bit about my childhood, and no,
that's really sad, because lovebirds, I mean, when they mate for life, they see everything as competition, because
right.
the two lovebirds just absolutely adore each other.
Am I correct that you can't have one lovebird? You need to have a pair?
That's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Yeah. Mikey, my lovebird, was absolutely brilliant. The easiest trained bird I ever trained. Trained within a week.
My uncle as well, he used to have parrots, and he used to teach them to fucking talk. I used to try and teach them to swear, but they never would. They only used to listen to my uncle.
Dexter, my African grade, talks. Well, you've probably seen one of my videos, the way he wakes us up. 7:30 in the morning, just talking shit.
I've got a question as well. You said you went to feed your cats. Now, I've got 2 cats, and there's no way I could have any birds in my house with my one girl cat, because she's a hunter, she is. So how does that work out, or do you keep them separate?
They are separate, pretty much. We had a problem when we first moved into this house. My bird room door didn't lock properly, and he grabbed Mikey, my lovebird, which was devastating. I was really cut up about it. I was crying like a baby for a week. Don't mind admitting that. And yeah, it is a difficult thing, but I mean, usually they are pretty good.
Nice one. So thank you for that. So a quick one as well while we're talking about YouTube. How have you found the community? And like now you're coming into the fold. Is everyone treating you good? Are you enjoying it? Yeah.
Oh, they're fantastic. They really are. You know, I can't appreciate everything all of you done, you know, with all the mentions, like, you know, Sega Zombie, Tootie UK, Addy Sneaker Freak, yourself, you know, you've been fantastic, actually. Yeah, I can't thank you enough.
Hold on, we've got a guest. You've made the mistake. You've come on camera. You've got to say hello now. No hiding yet.
You've got to come on. You've got to say hello.
That's it now.
Hi.
You've got.
I'll see if I can get Dexter.
Go and get Dexter, and you say hello to everyone. Introduce yourself. You're live on YouTube. We've got 175,000 viewers.
He's camera shy now.
Is
Sorry
he?
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
He's
just come
fine.
up. He did. I was trying to get rid of him. But now it's Luke, little kid. It's 9. PlayStation mad at the moment.
I was going to say I clocked his T-shirt earlier. I like the T-shirt. You can let him know because he obviously can't hear me. Can he? 'Cause he's got the headset on.
Nah. Yeah. Right, you can sit over there, Luke. Be good, all right?
So what games you've gone to fetch Dexter? We'll ask you, Adam. Obviously, you've been involved in the community a lot longer. How have you found the people on YouTube and the people you've met? Has it all been a positive experience?
It's been amazing. It has. I mean, to play Manchester's have been brilliant. So I've got Luke just over there, and he's I've got to keep an eye on him. With the community and everything, it's fantastic. There's not one person that I feel that, you know, I probably wouldn't get on with. Anyone that I watch or I'm subscribed to, I feel is genuine, and you know who they are is probably off camera and who they are on camera. But yeah, with the community, meeting people. I mean, Tootie, you know, he's at the events and everything. You know, I'll go up to him and everything, and yeah, because I ain't gone to a few events. I haven't. This back end of last year, but yeah, the community is just outstanding. It's so much passion with everyone in there, and everyone, as far as I'm aware of, gets on with other people. And yeah, I definitely feel welcome. I do. And as I said, everyone gets on, and yeah, it's just great to be a part of it. To be honest with you, it's like a travelling journey that hopefully will never end. I hope.
That's brilliant. What I'd say is Sega Saturn lad, Scotty said he met you at Play London. He said you're a nice guy. Addy Sneaker Freak has asked me to ask James about coming to an event in the future. GameZone Birdroom. Are you going to attend an event in the future and come and have a beer?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I'm just giggling to myself now because we've got Adam, who is a self-admitted pirate himself, here to my left. And you look like a pirate now with your bird on your shoulder. I feel like I should either cut off my leg or have a patch to be involved at this point.
Matey. This is me parrot.
Is that your African grey, is it, I'm guessing?
Yeah, this is me African grey. This is Dexter. Named after the TV show Dexter.
Dexter's Laboratory or the psychopathic serial killer?
The psychopathic killer. That's exactly what he is. And your Dex, eh?
I know Bruce Newton, he's mentioned, I think he used to have an African grey of some sort. So, hold on. Tootie said something. James should cosplay as AKA Coco Beware. Fucking
Coco. The Birdman, yeah.
It's spelled like this. You fucking writing the word cock in my fucking hell. So we got a bunch of pirates on tonight. So the next thing I want to talk about, we'll go to Adam first as always, is your collection. So what you've got from originally, what made you want to start collecting or get into collecting and have the games loft, as we'll call it?
Yeah. Well, as I said, the 1200s I had since 94. I still got my original Master System. I have, you know, the only stuff that I
Adam, can I just ask you not to say Master System when I'm drinking, because it makes me want to spit my beer everywhere. Because I have a little giggle.
All right. But yeah, I never grew a part of it. Be honest with you. I mean, I go to what was it a retro game. Well, I say it's a computer club every 2 weeks on Thursday, and we fix things down there, and that's been going on. My mate Steve ends up.
Is
He
this anything
runs
to
it.
do with swag? Is this anything to do with swag? The South?
No, it's completely different. This is like in Middlesex. That's down the south coast, isn't it? I think.
Yes,
but yeah, it just runs every 2 weeks, and I've sort of been going there, and we sort of, I mean, back in like 2018, my mate Steve, he bought a Super Nintendo round. So what did I say that was 1998, and he bought us a Nintendo from a marketplace. And we all sat around his house playing it back in, said 98 when the PlayStation was out. And he goes, "Oh, look at this." And it as I said, it's never sort of grown out of me. It hasn't with the actual older stuff, but with the collection, I'm just trying to think what I mean. The 1200, the 600, the Master System, and the Game Gear, the PlayStation. The Xbox I didn't get until 2004, I think it was, or 2006. I think it was 2006. Sorry, I've got Luke on me. I have. So it was very. It was just more the collecting side of things and the systems that I wanted, or I wanted back like the ZX Spectrum. I had the 48K, but I didn't have the 128K. So I'm now experiencing the 128 games now with music inside the machine and everything. Hence why I haven't done videos, because he doesn't go to bed late and he's just playing about up here at the moment. Sorry if it's just a scratch. I can't say.
No, he's fine. We're getting him some waves and hello in the comments. So if he wants to watch the comments, he'll see some hellos. Yeah. So just give him a wave. It just really carried on from there. I mean, I never had a Nintendo system. The first Nintendo that I actually had was a Game Boy Advance. So I didn't have the Super Nintendo or GameCube. I still ain't got a GameCube. But yeah, with the Game Boy, I was telling my friend had the Game Boy and I had the Game Gear. So, it was good to have like the console, well, the handheld that he had. So I'll get to experience the games that he played. I did borrow it. Same as the Mega Drive. I never had the Mega Drive because I jumped from the Master System to the Amiga. But yeah, I missed out. I borrowed a Mega Drive for about 6 months off a mate from school, and I had Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Altered Beast, and a couple of other games, and I swapped my Game Gear for it. But I mean, probably people would say, well, I wanted my Game Gear back. I did, because it was a Christmas present and everything, and it was mine. So I could have kept his Mega Drive, but as I said, I wanted the Game Gear back. And then it's with the collection, it sort of grew. I mean, watching, as you said, watching Chris and his live streams and the BBC. I'm just trying to think who's got the systems that I sort of wanted. With the BBC, we used it at school. And I never really played Arkanoid on it, but it's more of a programming language for me. It's learning to understand how to program and like the basic code. With the Spectrum, it's the same thing. I used to key in all the pokes when I was younger and save on a cassette tape. We're boring you. Well, go away then. Right, well, behave yourself for a sec. Yeah, just behave. So, the collection just sort of, Steve, my mate, he goes, there's a 360 for sale. It was box complete and everything, sort of 25 miles per hour. Sorry, 20 miles from where I live. And we ended up picking it up in 2009 for 90 quid. That's a box 360 for £90 and everything. And it was refurbed. It was. And I've had it since then. It hasn't had the ring of death on it at all. And yeah, it's just buying things like the Spectrum games. I'm buying them back, the ones that I had when I was younger, original, because we sold that for the Game Gear. We did, because obviously at the time Mum and Dad couldn't afford to keep one computer, so I funded the Spectrum, sold that for 75 quid. Must have been 1991.
It must have been, yeah, 75 quid for all the Crash magazines. I kept a few, like Outrun and games like that. My mum kept back to a few games, but all the copy games we kept. You know, as I say, I'm still going through them and making sure they work and everything like that. But yeah, it's sort of the collection's just continued really. You know, with the Amstrad, the BBC, the Mega Drive. You know, everything is sort of there. I'm just missing a Dreamcast, which I've got, but we're in repair with it. I think the controller's broken, so we need to. I've got like the battery for it and everything, but you know, it's kind of fixing things. Hence why I said about Greenford. And every 2 weeks for the last, I think I've been going since 2002. And we fix like gaming systems and everything. And it's just a big meetup. People bring down their systems and everything. And it used to be an Amiga group, like what you said, like Swag used to be, or Ease. I've never been before yet. And yeah, we end up. It used to, back in '96. It was loads of floppy disks and copying Amiga stuff. I might have to not go. I might have to just get him away because he's just running about around the lofts and he's touching.
No worries, I can pass over James. What I will say though is,
right.
As an Amiga fan, you should definitely attend Swag. I see a lot of the guys when I'm at the revival events. They're nice guys. I know Cinny Steve. I'm not sure if he's in the comments, but also Big Mike. Without further ado, Retro. They've been to a Swag meet and. They'll certainly say it's a cool thing. There's a lot of stuff there. But if you want to go and sort out Luke, me and James can have a little old chinwag about it.
Look, you're going to have to get down.
So, James, what made you start collecting? Just talk a little bit about your collection, what you've got, what made you want to do it, sort of thing.
Basically, you know, when you get one new system, you sell all your old games, don't you, to sort of get new games. So once I got that out of my system, and I thought, you know, I really missed my Mega Drive, and that was the main one I really missed. And so I tried to get all the games that I originally had, which was about 50. And so I've got about 46 of them now. So I've almost got the collection I originally had when I sold it all for my Saturn. Saturn, there's a few games I'm missing, like Die Hard Arcade, Sega Touring Cars, which is a shit game, but I absolutely love it. I don't know why. And some of the other systems I've just sort of picked up. I saw them, you know, fairly cheap, or my dad's brought them for me, like me Mega Drive 1, which was a gift for when I had me bike crash. Got knocked off my bike a few months back, and it was a sort of gift from him, Mega Drive 1. So yeah, it's basically just trying to get some of the games I originally owned.
So
pick up a few new ones.
Is there any vision to grow beyond what you used to have, or are you looking to discover new games for the system that you never played before?
I'll definitely, especially for the Saturn, because it's like an unappreciated system, isn't it? That really is. And some of the gems on them demo discs that I've been going through, like there's some games I really sort of originally weren't my cup of tea, but now playing them now, I really want to experience the whole game.
What I would say is, if there's any questions you want to ask about what games to be getting for the Saturn or for the Mega Drive, there's a whole bunch of people in the community here. Don't ask Big Game Ali, he just buys them, and Stu2 UK. They just buy them and put them on the shelf. You want to be looking for people who have an opinion and actually play them. With the Sega Saturn, we had Scott Sega Saturn lad on the other day. He's pretty hot on his Saturn, so definitely go through and don't be afraid to drop a comment and ask questions about, like, you know, what sort of stuff. And obviously, if you can get to some of these events, especially like your revivals and your plays, they have the system set up, so you can almost like experiment by playing games that they've already got there to see whether it's worth you purchasing them, sort of thing.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Definitely want to do all them sort of what they got gaming shows, are they? Or?
Yeah, retro. Where are you based, James? Without having to give away your full of it, huh?
The Isle of Wight.
Okay, so that's a fucking ball ache for you.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, not originally from here. Originally from Gravesend, but yeah, I've moved over here.
There are a couple. I mean, if you were going to do it, I'd say do a play event or one of the revival events, because they're a weekend event, so over the 2 days. So it would be worth your journey, if you know what I mean. You get 2 days worth of. But what they are is they're usually in a big hall or a big hotel function room. So you'll have probably about 50, 60 arcade cabs at play, I'm guessing at the top of my head. You've usually got one of every system set up so you can play, sometimes multiple. Few pinball machines. And then obviously there's a hall where you can buy stuff from, if you know what I mean, like a market hall. But definitely attend one of those. As I say, one of the bigger ones would probably be better for yourself to make the journey worthwhile. I'm sure we can blag you a wristband to get in anyway. So if you're going to come that far, we'll blag you a wristband to get in. But definitely worth doing. And as I say, a lot of us go there. We have a few beers, a lot of social. Adam's obviously been to a few, so he knows the old social side of things as well. But definitely worth doing. What I would say is check them out. I'll send you a link to any tubers who have done like walk around videos to give yourself.
Terrific! Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, and the other one that we do is we sometimes go to Arcade Club, which is in Bury, and there's one in Leeds, which again is a journey. But imagine it's like 3 stories full of arcade cabs. Again, they also have some of the systems set up, but not as many. It
sounds like heaven.
It's brilliant. And as I say, we go there, we spend a fair few hours, and then we usually have a night on the town. I look after Gruss Newton, or Lee does. One of us, basically, someone ends up looking after Gruss. You know, there's not a woman who in Bury who wasn't offended by Gruss during that last meet. But it's definitely worth doing if you only do it once in your life, is what I'd say.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I would love to do it. Yeah, I've always wanted to do one of them. Always want to do like a Comic Con or something as well.
And also Revival, the one that's in the Midlands now. What I'd say is the events they're currently doing are a lot smaller. They used to do it at the Bescott Football Stadium in one of the huge football function rooms, and that was good. Currently, they're doing smaller ones, so I wouldn't want you to come and be underwhelmed if you're coming a long way. The best ones I'd say for you currently would probably be the play events, just because of the whole size of it and, you know, to get your best experience for sure.
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
I'm completely new to all this.
We'll guide you in the right direction, James. Don't worry.
I need it.
So to say, we have taken you under our wing. I'm full of all the puns. Quick question for Adam before I lose it. I need to just quickly scroll up. Let me find it. It's fucking ages. There we go. Can you ask Adam at some point what is the best monitor / TV to display an Amiga 500 Plus in his opinion?
Phoenix Mark II. I've got 2. These are the Mark 1s behind me, but it's the one with the flap that comes down. So It's a Philips. I think. Well, this is the CM8833, but you're after the Mark II. That's my opinion. But anything like CRT will, you know, as long as it's got an RGB on the back of it, should be fine. I mean, this one of these, I can't remember. It's got my name on the back of it because I took it into repair years ago. But one of them was my original monitor. But they do blow up. Normally the lop or the flyback wheel normally blows up on them. So if they starts whistling, so make sure if you are going to look for one. But I mean, I'm watching one on eBay, the Mark II, and I think it's up to 160 quid now. You know, it's easier to look for delivery ones. So you pick up, you know, so you go actually to the house or pick them up instead of posting. But again, you look.
Can we not give everyone that eBay tip, please? Because that's how I get my shit.
What's that?
Just kidding. But that's JW Flashback TNT. He's recently featured some of his Amiga stuff, and I think he's going to be doing more. So you might want to check his channel out, Adam.
Okay.
He's very new to the tubes. Nice guy, Jay. Lovely, complete inbox N64 section. But he was the one who asked the question, and he says thank you very much.
Oh, no worries. I'll go through all the comments anyway later on and have a look.
It's currently it's taking 15, 16 hours to process my stream because YouTube's really slow. So it doesn't load the live chat till some point tomorrow. So you might be able to get the stream, but you won't get the live chat. So if you check back about midday tomorrow, you should be able to catch up. And that's including anyone who's listening to this back, because I had noticed that problem. And I just think it's because YouTube's overloaded with Just content at the moment, including dickheads like me who are doing 2 hours every day and every night of the week. Also, go on, carry on. Sorry.
No, you go.
It was just another question that got asked ages ago, and I forgot to ask. It was from Addy Sneaker Freak. Can you please ask Adam, does he still DJ? I didn't know you DJ.
Yeah. Sometimes I go on Facebook and do a live mix. Sometimes when I'm drunk, and I don't live DJ. I bedroom DJ. If you know what I mean. I've had record decks since 2000, since 2000, and I've got like house, garage, drum and bass, trance. Pretty much like a big sort of like collection. Now I'm collecting all the cheese on toast stuff because you can't really buy, like, what is it, the chart stuff that's out now. You can't really buy on records. Back in 2004, 2003, you could just go in HMV and buy singles that were in the top 40, and you usually get a lot of dance stuff on there. I mean, you go back, I don't know if anyone remembers Josh Rink's High State of Consciousness, Faithfulness, Insomnia.
I remember
Children.
Faithless Insomnia. Yeah. I'm a West Brom fan. That's what West Brom come out to sometimes.
Oh, okay, but tunes like Night Train, Cadillac, Children, Robert Miles, all them sort of classics.
You've just said one of my favourite tunes, man. While we're talking about Robert Miles, have you heard the remix with Darude called "Children of the Sandstorm"?
I probably have. I've probably got an MP3 somewhere.
Yeah, it's a mixture of obviously Darude, Sandstorm, and Robert Miles' Children, and it's fucking brilliant. If anyone's into that, definitely check out that mix. It was one of my personal favourites.
But with DJing, it's still a passion. As I said, I'm still buying vinyl, and again, it's just like when I've got time. I mean, I might have a mix, and that's the thing. Often, if I do a good one, I upload it to SoundCloud or somewhere. I'll just post it around, sort of thing. But I still DJ, still enjoy it and everything. But I sort of mix my days up. One day I might just sit on YouTube, like watching these streams daily, and then I'll do something myself, like have a mix, or I'll go up and play a game or something. But the DJ definitely. And I don't know if anyone wants any software or anything. Trackstar. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. You sort of get your MP3 tracks, as long as they like got the same BPM, you can just drag one track to the right channel and then the other one, and then you just mix your own sort of tracks. I've been doing a couple of Amiga stuff, I have as well, and trying to do an Amiga mix sort of thing with like mods, similar to like Ravi Abbott. I don't know if anyone's heard of him.
Is he the guy who does the
Saturday sometimes? Is
he the guy who does like the mixes with the Amiga systems and that?
Yeah. True story. I influenced him because I don't know if anyone knows Flex FM. It's like a London pirate radio station. It was way back 103.6, and what it was is that I'll get like they do like live streams years ago on Facebook, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to have a live mix on Facebook and just have a laugh with it. And I'm not saying I was, but I've probably one of the first people that did a live mix out of the friends that I know. And I met Ravi at Play Manchester, and I said, "Who influenced you?" And he said, "Me," not being big-headed. But it was good fun. It was, and he said, like, I said, "Who influenced you to do like live mixing and everything on Facebook?" Because that's where people started off, and then they developed to YouTube and everything like that to get more views and stuff. But I'll probably give it another go. I don't know if I've got Steve Sneaker Freak on anywhere other than Instagram and Twitter, I think.
Yeah, he'll be on Instagram. Yeah. Just a quick question: is Ravi the guy from Retro Half Hour Podcast? That's from James.
Yeah, Dan and Ravi.
83. Yeah,
it was Dan and Ravi, the two people that does the Retro Hour podcasts.
Brilliant. I just want to check, is it James Key or James Kia, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's who asked the question anyway. Stu's got a question for GameZone Birdroom. James, he wants to know, question to James, do the birds have a mad half hour like my fucking dogs?
Constant.
I just need to stop a second. Do you mean like your fucking dogs are, as in they are fucking dogs, or are they dogs that are fucking, Stu? Can you please confirm that? I just want to ask him an awkward question about. But carry on, James. You saying they have mad half hours all the time?
Oh, they do, yeah. They have their sort of like little exercise moments where they literally just fly around the room. It's annoying when I'm trying to film and they're just flying around. So I have a lot of takes where they just constant flying. Say, shut up.
Brilliant. I don't know if you know. Have you heard of a channel called LIVESTREAM, Eddie? He's another animal man of the gaming kingdom. He's got dogs, cats. I don't know if he's got birds, but they call him Eddie Ventura. The people who know him.
Oh, brilliant.
But definitely check it out. James, you know, on your window there, is that green bird an actual bird? Because it's not moved since I've been talking to you. Or is that a
No, it's an ornament.
Oh, thank fuck for that. I was worried he hadn't moved for 2.5 hours since I've been talking to you.
No, he's an alderman. He looked a lot like my original Dexter.
What do you mean? Is that Dexter 2.0, is it?
Yeah, he was from a friend. And yeah, that's my original Dexter. An orange wing Amazon.
Nice, very nice. Raz reckons it's a bong, that bird ornament. It's not a bong. Can we confirm that? It's not.
No, I don't drink or smoke.
What is your voice? Games.
Sorry?
What is your voice, Games?
Pardon?
What is your voice then? If you don't drink and you don't smoke, what is your voice?
Yeah, my games and my birds, basically, yeah. I used to drink. I haven't drunk for about 3 years because obviously I've got dodgy kidneys.
Join the club.
So, yeah, I don't drink anymore.
I gave up drinking and it just made me miserable. So at least now I've still got dodgy kidneys. They're not getting any better, but at least I drink and keep them well flushed. So moving back to a little bit about YouTube, I'm going to ask the question to you both. Adam can answer first. What's the plan for your channel in the future? Are we going to see some more content? Are we going to see some mixes? Give us a little sneak peek. Are you going to do anything? Is the question.
Yeah. As I said, I've been. I mean, I'll be honest. I have been lazy. I've had computer issues, but I'm not going to go on about that. But yeah, moving forwards, you know. But the trouble is, it's going to be hot again, isn't it? We're looking at May, you know, June, July, August. But because
we hope it's going to be hot, but there's no guarantee.
I hope so too. But the thing is, though, when I'm up here, I'm sweating. I mean, it's the same as like most people, you know, Stu, for instance, he says like the furnace, and with Chris as well in his loft. And it depends where you are. You know, sometimes it's like 45, you know, degrees up here, and to make content. As I said, you know, I could just go down and do a quick video. But the thing is with me, it's more sort of the gaming side of things. Like, but I will be bringing things forward, I guess. I mean, there's lots of things that I haven't even thought about doing yet, you know, like Star Wars collections, toys and stuff. And I should have had a prop sort of thing here, but I mean, Yoda up there, it's just, you know, sort of things like that. But, you know, it's a puppet, I know, but it's the original Star Wars that I had when I was younger, and just anything really. But yeah, I like to do a lot more. I just need to stop being lazy and get on with it, to be honest with you.
I definitely think people would like to see a lot more of your stuff. I didn't know you even had a Star Wars collection. I buy and sell vintage toys. I do have some Star Wars, so I imagine that's something that you've massively got in common with Gashead Steve, because he's a big Star Wars fan as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. There is, and it's all in boxes and stuff. So. Yeah, but the thing is with me, I don't want to sit in front of the camera. I mean, obviously, I'm going to talk about nostalgia of it, but I was like 6, 7, 8, 9. A lot of the memories is opening it and sort of playing with it. But, you know, it's more linked to the computer side of things. But I don't want to sit there with a camera and say, oh, look at this sort of thing. You know, it's got to mean something to me to actually bring across to the camera. It has, you know, there is memories there of the Star Wars stuff. But, you know,
what I'd say is a lot of feedback I do is when we talk about toys in this chat, or when I myself pick them up in my pickups videos, because I always feature stuff I pick up a lot of toys. Always gets positive feedback from people in the community. So I almost think, and I've said it before, these two hobbies almost like interlock. Anything nostalgia as well, like there's a lot of us guys who are into gaming who like our VHSs and nostalgia of 80s and vintage films. It almost all knits into one of that nostalgia of years gone by and us growing up. So I think many people, especially people like I was just about to mention his name, and he wrote a comment to UK. I know he loves Star Wars, and there's a lot of people who would be massively interested in it. So don't think you'd be boring us, because people would love to see it, mate. Definitely.
But yeah, just quickly, as I said, it's more of a, like, the channel's just more of a, meeting people and everything. It's progression. I wouldn't mind, but it always say it's just a laugh. All it is, it's just a laugh for me. It is what I get out of it is what I put into it, I guess. But it's just meeting people, talking to people, interaction really, and putting a camera at the screen and filming Amiga demos really. But moving forward, I like to do more. The PC's all right. It is. I did a stream last Saturday. I was off my head. I was on Tony's stream. I can't remember his channel name now. He's changed it like 8,000 times.
Platinum Gamer and
That's
Movies. It's currently. He's already reserved Titanium Gamers, Movies and Coins. I believe he's already reserved in case he decides to change his mind again.
But I had a little stream just to test it out, because I think, Danny, you mentioned it to us, like, would you mind being on it? And I said, yeah. But I didn't know if my computer in the spare room would do it. That machine's like, I built that in 2009, so it's like a quad 4. So it's like a quad 4 processor in it. So rendering videos takes ages, especially if you've got a camera and you're putting it at the screen and you render a 6-minute video. It could take a bit of time, but I'll get me acting to gear, and hopefully the weather will stay cooler for a little while, and I'll try and get a bit more content uploaded. But as I said, it's all it's not emulation. It isn't. The channel's more sort of like the gaming side, me talking to the camera as of the people I was watching. I sort of follow their footsteps in one aspect. But Star Wars stuff might come out. Who knows?
Brilliant. And same I've got a couple of questions for James, actually. Obviously, the one about what's your plan for your future of your YouTube channel, and 2, how the fuck did you get all them free cables off that company? Because they won't send me fuck all.
You know what? I never actually asked for them. I got the Dreamcast for a Christmas present from my wife, and I done the review because I done another cable of the I think it was the Saturn Retro gaming cable, and it was quite sort of popular. So I thought, fuck it, I'll do one of the Dreamcasts. And I just sort of messaged the company and just said, look, I've done a review. I wonder if you wanted to watch it. And about 20 minutes later, the company said, oh brilliant, we'll have a butcher's of it, basically. And then I don't know how long that video is, that Dreamcast, 15, 20 minutes. And after that, they said, oh, what other consoles do you have? So I gave them a list of what I got. And he said, oh, we'll send you a few out. I said, well, you do realise I've only got a small following. He said, yeah, that's fine. We'll send you them out. So, brilliant.
Because I messaged them, right, and I just said, I'd be interested in reviewing some of your products, which I was. And plus, I was tight. I couldn't find my fucking Dreamcast cable. And I thought, I hope they send me a Dreamcast one. And they said they'd look into it, and obviously look at my channel. But then COVID hit, and I've not heard of any of them since. So I was kind of hoping to get some cables, to be honest.
Well, but I know he's not producing any cables at the moment due to it.
Is he not? Oh, that.
Yeah, that might be the reason.
That may be it. But what is the plan for the future of GameZone Birdroom? Obviously, you're getting a cult following now, mate. Cult following.
I want to do more of me Battlemania, because obviously a WrestleMania fan, and it's something me and my brother used to love doing, competing against each other on these old games. So I want to do a few more of them. I was going to show off some of my crossover comics. Going to do a wrestling, my classic my brother's classic wrestling figures. The Hasbro original, the original ones. It's got almost a full set.
I've got these ones. These are from back in the day. I've shown them a couple of times.
Brilliant.
That's the Ultimate Warrior. That was from my Auntie Joan, God bless her soul, which I say every time. My Jake the Snake.
Oh, Jake the Snake. You got to love Jake the Snake.
And this is just one that I've kept because I love the Macho Man.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah, dig it, Elizabeth.
I used to have about 30, 40 of them, but I sold them all off for some reason. So
my brother's
carry on
still
with
got. Yeah, my
the
brother's
family.
almost got the full set. The only ones he's missing is, I think, Dusty Roads, Crush as the Demolition, and I think there might be another couple.
The
But
1,
yeah, he's
2,
almost
3
got a full
kids worth
set.
a bit. The 1, 2,
Yeah,
3
1, 2,
kid.
3 kid is, yeah. And that's
I've
another one he ain't got, but 1, 2, 3 kid.
I've got 3 mint on card. I've got the Rockers, the Narcissist Lex Luger, and the blue version of Mr. Perfect mint on card. What I've got in my, they're locked away, but they're not on display. But I've got them. So you're going to be bringing that to the channel. I know some of the people in the comments will be massively interested in that also.
Oh, and I also ordered one of them Pandora boxes, so I might do a few arcade reviews. I know it's not original hardware, but
if you want to know about Pandora's boxes, I don't know if you know his channel. It's Retro Games Revived. Sean, he massively uses the Pandora boxes. So if you get stuck with anything,
I'll check him out.
Definitely give him a message. If you can't find him, drop me a message and I'll put that link together. Just to confirm,
Perfect.
Pandora's box, that isn't the thing that Adrian Mole was after, is it? It's a gaming system.
Yeah, it is Pandora Treasure. It's called. It's like a little mini console type. It is.
Yeah, is it almost like an equivalent to a Raspberry Pi emulation sort of thing?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I saw. I think the Wicked Gamer reviewed it, and I thought that looked good.
Stu2 UK is talking about some documentaries beyond the mat. If anyone wants to know about wrestling documentaries, I've got a very decent playlist I've put together on Amazon Prime. If anyone wants to get in touch with me, I'll put you in
Beyond
the
the Mat, brilliant.
I remember watching that, and I remember the Bret the Hitman Hart documentary. Is that
Wrestling with Shadows?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, really good.
WCW. Quick question for you, James, before I throw a question to the both of you. It's from 2 UK. Question for James: if the birds got out, would they come back?
He probably would. Dexter. The others probably wouldn't. Mikey would have. The one that I'd done a video on recently. He would have. But yeah, the other 3 are quite wild still. But yeah, they would just fly off. Probably die somewhere in the cold.
Yeah, like probably not so much in the cold. It would probably be like wild birds that would probably get to them first.
Probably prey on them or just starve. They don't know really what to eat. I mean, they're all fed. I mean, they've got a terrific little life. Lucky bastards.
Better fed than most people's
and
animals.
everyone. My games consoles have not got shit all over them, all right?
You know,
I clean this room every day.
Again, right, I'm going to throw that out. Because when I found your channel, I religiously watched all your videos. And I'm the one who started that. So for all the good I did promoting, I was saying, I've just watched all these videos because I want to see if the bird shit on his console. just a little. This next question, I don't know if it will apply to you both, but it's certainly been asked to you both, and it's from Scott Sega Saturn Lad. Question to the guests: finest bargain you have found at a boot sale or charity shop? So I'm assuming this is gaming related. So we'll go to Adam first.
I can pick it. I can go and get it if you want. I'll
If
go
you
and
want
get
to,
it.
mate.
It will take 2 secs.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll clonk it everywhere. One of them, if that's angled correctly. 500. £1. What happened? What happened was it was like it was just laying on the floor, and I think it might have been a reseller, but you're not talking like recently. You're talking. I think I had that back at my mum and dad's house, so it must have been 1995, 94. It must have been. So yeah, I just said, how much you want for that? And the lady said £1. I said, all right, I'll take it. You know, under my arm, gone. That was it. Because you could have got like 3 or 4 quid for it back then. But
Adam, I need to stop you.
What's that?
Who is that woman that's on the screen in the background that keeps coming on?
It's a demo. It is. Is that going to affect anyone? Hey?
Sorry, mate. It just caught my eye. Probably because I'm constantly surrounded by men on these streams, Actually, they look like they're being tortured. Look, is it a snuff demo or something?
No, I don't have that. It's with premium. It is. I can get a Cindy Crawford slideshow if you want on there, so you can have like Cindy Crawford if you want. But now I'll just put it on. I did. But yeah. Other than that, Final Fantasy charity shop $1.99. I think that's what it is. Final Fantasy. I can't remember what it is.
Would it be 7? One of the ones on the PlayStation.
Yeah, PS1.
Yeah.
But yeah, another bargain. +3 for 30 quid. The Amstrad with a monitor. I think I paid 45 for it, and the toast rack 45 quid. I paid.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a few bargains that I've had, but I think 1, 2, 3, 4 14-inch PVMs and 6 9-inch PVMs for nothing.
Right, I'm being asked a couple of questions. I don't know if these mean anything to you. Steve, Addy Sneak Freak says, does Adam have any of the stag demos? What are stag demos?
Oh yeah, they're the porn discs. They were what the Amiga had. I've probably got a few. It used to be like black and white. I still remember them, and you used to get pictures of women and that and men, and they used to do things to one another. They did. But yes, it's the stag at 12, 13 years old. That was brilliant. But Claudia Schiffer was better. It was, especially after 9 o'clock.
It's well after 9 now. So over to James. What's your best bargain that you've either picked up from a boot or a charity shop? Your bargain.
Probably Last Battle. I paid a couple of quid for it. It's a shit game as well, but yeah.
Do you? I mean, where you're from, is there any boot sales over there? Because it's a really small island, isn't it?
Yeah, there is the odd couple, but you don't really get any of the retro. Very rare do you see the retro stuff. Now, I've gone to a few of the boot fairs to try and get a few little deals, but yeah, very rare. And the charity shop were mainly sort of more PlayStation 2 games in there.
Yeah, because I mean, unlike us, like, unless you go, do you go over to the coast regular, like mainland?
No, it's too expensive.
See, I used to go on holiday. Is the Haven Park still on there?
It is still there. Yeah, Haven Park.
I tell you what, mate, back in the 90s, that Haven Park had one of the best arcades back in the day. I used to love going there. But true story, I nearly fucking drowned in the pool there when I went on holiday when I was like 15.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, because what happened was, right, is obviously I was 15. I went with my mate and my mum and dad, and they threw me in the pool with all my clothes on, and I was fucking weighted down. I couldn't get out. But because I'd been pissing about all weekend.
It's quite a deep pool there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and because I was pissing about, the lifeguard thought I was doing it as a joke, so he didn't even jump in straight away. And honest to God, it's probably the closest in my life that I can think I've come to death. And I was thinking, is he going to jump? Because I just couldn't swim. I was weighted down with all my clothes and fucking everything. I mean, I've never been the greatest.
All them 10p's you had in your pockets, wasn't it, for the arcades?
Probably was. But the serious thing, man, and to be honest, it kind of scared me off swimming for the rest of my life because of that happening. But that's true story. But it used to have a brilliant arcade there. And I used to make a lot of prank phone calls from the phone box on the site as well. Back before I had a mobile phone, I used to be like making prank phone calls to my mates who were back home.
Yeah, my missus stayed there for a short weekend, and it's not that good anymore.
No, I imagine not. But back in the 90s, it was a very, very cool place to go, to be sure. But definitely looking forward to the new stuff you're going to be adding to the channel as well, though, mate. It
was quite annoying with the Battle Mania because obviously the lockdown happened, so I only did like the one episode.
Yeah, that was against your brother, right?
Yeah.
What I will say, James, is what I love about your channel is you don't take yourself too seriously, and
well, what's the point? What's the point?
Someone who definitely doesn't take himself seriously. I mean, you only have to look at my hairstyles, my haircut, and the way I talk. I'm just having fun with YouTube because we're here for one time, not a long time. So you might as well enjoy yourself while you're here and have a laugh. And if you entertain a couple of people, then so be it.
I see my channel's success. When I got 5 subscribers, that was it. I was chuffed. I was chuffed to bits.
Brilliant. While we've got you both talking, and we've got about 5 minutes to spare, James, we'll start with you because you're the one or the self-confessed nerd. So tell us what other hobbies you're into, what other nerdy nostalgia sort of things are you into? Because I obviously tagged you in that 90s question because I thought you were one of the first people who come to mind. I thought he'd love answering this.
Oh, I thought that was brilliant. I really loved doing that. Yeah, basically, I love me Marvel, DCs. I absolutely love my crossover episodes, comics. So I've got quite a few of them. Obviously, like Batman versus Predator, Spider-Man versus Superman. List goes on. My favourite one at the moment is Batman versus the Turtles. Massive Turtle fan. Absolutely love the original 1987 series. Obviously, I'm massively into me retro games. My 60s music, I'm a massive 60s music. Me Kinks, Stones, Animals, Manfred Mann. You probably don't know any of these, do you?
I know. Oh, mate, don't start me. I was brought up on that sort of music. Mum and Dad used to go and listen to the singers at the social club in the pubs. The Animals, House of the Rising Sun.
Fantastic song.
I love that. In fact, if people who watch my because some people stalk your YouTube and watch what you watch. That is on my music playlist. That is the video.
Oh, is it? Oh, brilliant! Yeah, it's a fantastic song. And my favourite singer of all time is Roy Orbison, if you can believe that. I think he's brilliant.
You cheatingly picked him for the 90s because one of his songs got released in the 90s, didn't you?
Yeah, because he originally done it in 87, but he only done the vocals. There was no music background or anything, so that was all recorded in 91 and then released for his last album, which had about 10 songs on it.
See, because when you introduced that, you said he was no longer with us when it was released. I was thinking of Freddie Mercury, who Queen are a massive one of my favourite bands.
Oh, Queen are fantastic. Yeah, didn't he die in 91 though?
Yeah, but some songs got released after though, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Oh, right. No, I didn't know that.
There was a few songs that were released after his death. So that's who I thought you were going to mention. And then when you said Roy Orbison, it came right out of left field for me. We'll ask the same question to Adam. So other than gaming, obviously Star Wars is a hobby of yours. Is there anything else? Or why do you like Star Wars? Because, again, that's something else that within our community, I know we've got 2 we've got the Gashead. Just today alone, in one of the WhatsApp groups, everyone was talking about the Star Wars Blu-rays. I know Jay Cybersnake 7 is one of them. So, we're all into similar little things, to be sure.
I never. I just love Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. Pretty much Empire Strikes Back, and the original trilogy. And again, it's stuff my mum and dad's kept in their loft and everything, and we never really got rid of. So that's the thing with me. Being a collector, I've sort of still got hold of the stuff that I had. I never sort of sold it. So to reflect back in collecting, that's where it sort of stops with me regarding things like that. But yeah, with the Star Wars stuff, I used to play with them and everything, and it's nostalgic, isn't it? It's, you look at the boxes and stuff, and you think, and some of it, because it's in crates over that side of the loft, I can't really get to it because at the moment I'm trying to tidy up here. I'm trying to get the gaming stuff sorted out and everything, trying to put shelves up. But yeah, other than the Star Wars stuff, there's the Spectrum games and everything, collecting them. That's more the gaming side of things. The car, I mentioned that again. I mean, trying to figure out what goes wrong with that. My alarm busted on it just before Christmas, and I couldn't get into the car because I got the car delocked. So there's no key to get in the car. I had to climb through the boot to get in to start the car up because the mobiliser wasn't working. Then I went down to I say the name, High Wycombe, to try and get the alarm fitted to get it working again. I got round the corner and my clutch went on the car. Hence why I haven't been to Arcade Club and travelling everywhere. I need to get another motor so I can drive places. But yeah, the car is a big thing because obviously I'm Googling it. I'm trying to find out what's wrong with it. I can sort of fix it myself. But, with where I live at the moment, I've got no garage, so I can't leave the car half, with bits lying on the floor. mixing and DJing is another hobby I enjoy doing. So I'm collecting, you know, I say 90s music, like Partners in Crime, Total Power. Don't know if you remember that. And
Yes.
what was it? And like, you know, the Sonic tune that was out before, similar to the Mario tune.
I've got
I
the
actually
Mario
bought-
and the Disney one. I've got the Mario, not Disney, Mario and Tetris one. Sorry.
Yeah, but I recently, I mean, the Amiga people out there probably know, just bought Sunshine on a Rainy Day by Surrey on vinyl. I did, so I was going to post that somewhere. But yeah, mixing and, well, it's more, as I said, because you can't buy like the singles anymore. Well, you know, on vinyl, the 12-inch like HMV, it's more albums, you know, like Oasis, and you know, but they're like 22 quid. They are, which is, you know, fine. But you know, used to buy singles for like £1.99 to £3 used to. So yeah, I'm just buying back the music I used to listen to, or I bought on CD. So I'm just getting that on record so I can listen to it. So, but that's really, be honest with you, that's really about collecting wise. I mean, for me, as I said, I've got enough here to, you know, to play, you know, to entertain myself. I have, and collecting, I've run out of room. I have. I mean, with the computers I've got set up, for me, it's more playing than collecting. It's nice to have it on a shelf and everything, but I haven't got the room for that. I mean, I've got Amiga games from when I was younger, and doing a crate, doing a crate, because at the moment I've got no shelf space to put them up. I'm working on it.
If you want some tips on shelves,
Yeah.
don't ask Tutti UK because he only knows how to look like fucking this. Quick question, because it's Gruss Newton. He said D-locked. Is it 1991? 2001, sorry. I don't know if that means anything to you. Obviously something you might have said earlier.
D-locked.
I don't know.
I
don't know if
Johnny.
I don't know if
I'm
he was
trying to
referring
read
to car or anything like that. So that's why I highlighted it. I don't know what he was on about.
A D-lock is what you used to use on a BMX, isn't it? Like the D-lock, the bike chain thing. But I don't know.
Oh, perhaps that's for me. I don't know a thing about bikes.
I ain't got a clue. It's just Gus.
I just drive a scooter and that's it.
Old school variety face wants to know: can Adam scratch?
No, but I know someone that can. Now I can mix, you know, I can do garage and trance and whatever. But I'm learning. That's the thing. I'm a bedroom DJ. I've done a few house parties. Well, I've done parties. I've done like New Year's Eve, like house parties. But I'm no like EZ or, you know, Paul, whatever his name is, Van Dyke, or, you know, someone like that. I just do it for fun. It's exactly what I'm doing on YouTube. I just, you know, I'm practicing. I practice like every other week, sort of thing. But when you get new records, you can practice them and everything. It's just having a laugh, really, and it's self-taught as well. But scratching is something it's something that I wouldn't mind doing. But my needles keep jumping. I've only got Numarks, not Technics. But yeah, I don't know. I need to practice it. I do, but it's always been sort of something that I want to do. I can do that, obviously, and, you know, scratch a thingy in, but it's more the mixing side of things rather than scratching. But scratching is something that I wouldn't mind learning, to be honest with you.
Brilliant. What I want to say is we're at the end of the stream. It's absolutely flown by. What I like to do is when we finish the stream is I like to get a message from each of you guys to everyone who's been watching, everyone who's in lockdown. So Adam, if you want to send your message first, and then James second. But before you both do that, I want to thank you both, because you've both come on this stream tonight at short notice, which is a massive thank you. You've helped me keep the stream going, and it's just been a massive pleasure to have you both on. It's both the first time I've actually spoken to you in kind of a face-to-face way. So I thank you for both putting yourself out there and coming on my stream. I hope everyone who's watched has enjoyed it as much as I have. You're two great guys. I've massively appreciated you having on, and it's a thank you from me. So, Adam, if you want to go first with your out message.
I mean, just what the government says, isn't it? You know, you keep your 2 meters and you can just keep safe. That's all you can do. You know, you don't visit your family and anything like that. But, you know, these streams, I've been watching them. Well, I have been watching them and everything, and they've been great. You know, what Dana's done has been fantastic. You know, keeping all the community together, and with the comments flowing in and everything. It's a great, you know, what you've done is absolutely brilliant. So I can't, it's kept me going after work sort of thing when I finish work, and I think 8 o'clock, it's like your games master, at 7:30 on a Tuesday night. You get home from work or whatever, school, and it's like Dana's on, apart from a Wednesday. I mean, you're on more days than EastEnders you are at the moment.
I hope I'm better than EastEnders as well.
Well, you're more entertaining. At least you don't shout at people, which is good. That's all I hear out of that. It's just people shouting. But as I said, it's been and just keep I can't even speak now. Just keep safe, and just that's it really. Just look after yourselves. And as I said, what everyone's done it's been brilliant. It has. But sorry, I do want to touch upon about the gaming events you was chatting about. If you've got 2 secs.
Yeah, of course, mate.
Yeah. As I was saying, that we are planning another event ourselves down in Greenford, in London, and it's our 3rd event. We've had people like David Pleasance, Stephen Fletcher, who's doing the Commodore Story 2020. Ravi Everett's been there. We've had what's his name, Retro Man Cave down there as well, and there's loads of other people. It's posted on Facebook. It's called Retcon. It is. So if you want to Google Retcon and everything, as I said, we're planning an event for the 31st of October. Obviously, it got cancelled.
What I'll say, Adam, is get me all the details, right? Send them to me in a private message. Yep. I'll get it put out there on one of my streams, and also I'll promote it and get it put out there, because I know we got a lot of Southerners who are here in the chat. So I'll promote it, get me the details, and it'll get some mentions from me, and I'll make sure the rest of the gaming community get mentioned as well. That's the best I can do for you, mate.
That's absolutely brilliant. I much appreciate that.
No worries. So James, can we have your signing out message for the
yeah, of course. Again, just thanks for having me on the show. I know you don't like to call it a show, but
it's not a show.
I know. But thanks for having me on it. Just everyone keep safe. It is important to keep safe. Don't visit your family members. As old Boris would say, it is very important. I've seen the effects that this horrible virus has, and it's not very nice. So wash your hands, keep 2 meters away, and just keep safe. Stay at home, play your games.
Thank you again. Thank you both for being on. I'm just going to drop you both backstage while I do my going out message. So again, thank you both for being on. You've been brilliant, superb. Cheers. Right, guys, don't thank me for tonight's stream. Thank them too, guys, because they've jumped on at the last minute. Because last night I didn't have a stream. I had no guests. I've messaged them today. I've reached out to them. They've both come on. They've both never really interacted with me other than a few private messages and watching these streams. So they've come here to make sure I have a stream for you. And I want to say this. It's always my guests who are the people who make this work, because none of you would want to see 28 streams of just me talking. You'd be bored by now. Both great lads. James has been an absolute star since coming into the community. And Adam, obviously a very knowledgeable guy. I want to get his event promoted that he's going to be doing. So that'll be something I'll be doing in the future. Now, Steve, Addy Sneaker Freak, had a successful after party last night. He's hosting again tonight. I'm not going to be in it tonight because I need to go and have something to eat tonight. But he will send out the links in the Discord group and he'll pass it on to me. So if you want to go in the after party, message me. I'll pass on the link. But again, tomorrow's Sunday. It is my day off and I have got a stream planned for Monday. So thank you all for your support. Stay safe and drink some beer. GameZone Birdroom signing out.